What we have seen Max Scherzer do since he has come to this team has been absolute horrible baseball. Okay? And I don't want to hear anybody come out and make any excuses for this guy because there are none. Max Scherzer has not been good. His numbers as a pitcher have been absolutely horrible. And we sit here and everybody said, oh, they spent that kind of money. They spent, what was it, $43 million a year to bring Max Scherzer here. He could have went anywhere, but he wanted to come and play for the Mets. And instead, Max Scherzer has done absolutely nothing to help this team win. In the playoffs, lose. In the regular season, lose. This guy can't even stay on the field. He has so many lat injuries, ankle, foot, whatever it is. This is a guy that was never hurt his whole career. All of a sudden, he hurts his shoulder before he gets traded from the Nationals to the Dodgers. He didn't pitch as well in the playoffs for the Dodgers, even though he pitched okay. And then he becomes a free agent, and the Mets, hey, we want Max Scherzer. He was going to go back to the Dodgers. He wanted to stay home. He goes to the Mets, and he has been horrible. Remember when the Mets signed him, and everybody's like, oh, you have the two best pitchers in baseball, Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom. And both of those guys couldn't stay healthy last year. Now, Jacob deGrom is having another Tommy John surgery, and Max Scherzer, who's never had Tommy Johns in his life, she's got shoulder problems. He has a lot of fatigue, a lot of excuses for the New York Mets. And then he comes out today and he says, hey, he's willing to waive his no-trade clause. Why? Because he doesn't want to play for this team anymore. Why? Because this team stinks. Why? Because he ruined this team by coming here. An old-timer. Yes, he's better off playing for old-timers day. He's not the same pitcher. I'm not going to take shots at Justin Verlander. I'm not going to do it. You know why? Because Justin Verlander has pitched okay. But I've been telling people this. When they brought Justin Verlander to this organization in the offseason, I said one thing. And I said that Justin Verlander playing for Houston, it will hide some of his deficiencies as a pitcher. Why? Because he played for one of the best defensive teams in baseball. Why? Because he has all these other dominant pitchers in the rotation, and teams were probably saying, hey, I'd rather play my better players against the better pitchers than play my backups against Justin Verlander. And I'm not taking shots at Justin. He's a good pitcher. He's still a good pitcher. But he's not the same pitcher. And Met fans were getting so happy to bring in the old-timers in Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, and Katana. This was the most ridiculous, dumb mistake that Epler made so far as a GM for the New York Mets. $353 million. And these guys are taking up just a little bit under a quarter of the money that you're invested into this season. You're paying two old-timers, two 40-year-old pitchers, $43 million a year. Let's go look at Garrett Cole that everybody and their mother takes a shot at all season long because he's not a good pitcher. And this is what they've been saying. He needs this. He needs to cheat. 8-1 with a 2.78 ERA and a 1.129 WHIP. That's what a pitcher who you're paying $38 million to should be putting up. Numbers like that. And you're taking shots at him because last year he was caught with spider tap. But the Mets, when you say, hey, Max Scherzer's 7-2 with a 3.95 ERA and a 1.175 WHIP, who's making $5 million more than Garrett Cole is right now, is having an okay season. Give me a break. And Steve Cohen comes out today and speaks to the Met fan, and I can understand how and why he's so stressed out, okay? His team right now is 7 games under 500. They have not been good, okay? Now, there's still another half of the season, and the Mets could go on a winning streak. They can win 15, 16 games in a row. They could. Maybe Scherzer, takes his comments off the board on possibly waiving his no-trade clause. But maybe he takes that off the table if the Mets start winning.